Think about this for a moment. How many times in just the last 24 hours did the word sorry slip out of your mouth? Maybe you texted a friend, sorry for the late reply. Maybe at work you started speaking in a meeting with, sorry, can I just add something? Maybe you accidentally bumped into someone at the grocery store and whispered an almost automatic, sorry, even though it wasn't really your fault. These little apologies seem harmless, but when you stack them up across days, weeks, and years, they reveal a very powerful truth. You are living your life in apology mode. And the scary part is, you don't even notice it anymore. The habit of over-apologizing has become so normal that it hides in plain sight. We excuse it as politeness, as being nice, as keeping the peace. But here is the hard truth. When you constantly lead with apologies, you are silently teaching the world how to treat you. You are signaling that your presence is an interruption, that your needs are a burden, that your voice doesn't really deserve to take up space. Every sorry that slips out of your mouth chips away at your confidence. Every unnecessary apology bends your posture a little lower, until one day you find yourself shrinking in rooms you were meant to stand tall in. Now, don't get me wrong. Apologizing has a place. If you have hurt someone, if you have crossed a line, if you have made a genuine mistake, owning it with a sincere apology is one of the most powerful human acts. But that's not what we are talking about here. We're talking about the empty, reflexive, robotic sorry that you drop a dozen times a day without even thinking. You apologize when someone else bumps into you. You apologize when you ask a question. You apologize when you take too long to open an email. You apologize when you literally exist. And slowly, those apologies become your second skin. Imagine sitting in a boardroom. A colleague pitches an idea with confidence and authority. You have an even better idea, but when you speak up, you start with, sorry, can I just add something? In that single word, you have undercut yourself. You have positioned your thought as less valuable before it even left your lips. Or picture a friend who texts you late at night, sorry, I know I'm bothering you. Instead of feeling connected, you sense hesitation, guilt, shame, all from a 2-second text. This is what happens when sorry takes over. Your relationships become tilted, your confidence weakens, and people subconsciously start believing that your place in the room is smaller than theirs. The craziest part? Most of the time, the people you're apologizing to aren't even asking for it. They're not waiting for your sorry. They're not keeping score. But you are. Deep inside, every unnecessary apology is logged as evidence against yourself. Evidence that says, I am wrong for existing exactly as I am. I am a problem. I need to shrink so that others can be comfortable. And if you've ever wondered why you hesitate to speak, why you feel overlooked, why opportunities pass you by, this culture of over-apology is one of the silent reasons. Here is what I want you to realize, this habit isn't just about words. It's about identity. When you tell yourself over and over that you are sorry, you're programming your brain to live in guilt, to expect rejection, to carry shame where there doesn't need to be any. You start to anticipate other people's disappointment before it even arrives, and so you soften yourself with that one word, sorry. But all it does is cage you in a prison of self-doubt that you built with your own language. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine walking into a room, asking a question, or sharing your idea without attaching an apology to it. Imagine what it would feel like to express yourself without guilt, without self-shrinkage, without begging permission to take up space. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. That's confidence. That's the version of you that doesn't exist to apologize for existing. So let me ask you again, how many times did you apologize today when you didn't actually need to? And more importantly, How much of your life is slipping away under the weight of those tiny words? Because here is the truth. If you keep apologizing for everything, you'll eventually apologize for yourself. And that is the most dangerous apology of all. In this video, I'm going to show you why this habit is secretly killing your confidence, how it affects the way people see you, and most importantly, the one powerful shift that will change everything. By the end, you never look at the word sorry the same way again. This isn't about being rude. It isn't about throwing away politeness. It's about finally stepping into your life with the authority, presence, and respect you have deserved all along. But before we talk about the solution, before we explore the shift that will transform your life, we need to look at something most people never stop to consider. Why do we over-apologize in the first place? What's happening deep inside us when that word rolls off our tongue so easily? And what is it quietly costing us every single day? That's where we need to go next. Let's get brutally honest for a moment. Over-apologizing looks harmless on the surface, but underneath, it's draining your power in ways you probably haven't even noticed. Every time you say, sorry, when you don't mean it, you are giving away a tiny piece of your confidence, a small fragment of your authority, and a subtle slice of your self-worth. One apology doesn't seem like much. But a lifetime of unnecessary apologies, that's a mountain of self-erasure. And that mountain is heavy. Picture this. There's a young professional named Sarah. She's smart, driven, and full of ideas. But in every meeting, her sentences begin with, sorry, can I add something? Or, sorry, this might sound silly, but the problem isn't her ideas, they're brilliant. The problem is her presentation. Her colleagues, even without realizing it, begin to take her less seriously. They don't hear her as a confident contributor. They hear her as someone apologizing for taking up their time. The result? She gets overlooked for promotions, her opinions get brushed aside, and eventually, she begins to believe that maybe she really doesn't have what it takes. But the truth is, she was never lacking ability. She was simply stuck in the prison of over-apology. And Sarah isn't alone. This is happening everywhere. At school, in friendships, in marriages, in text messages. People are unconsciously shrinking themselves down, apologizing for existing. And the cost is massive. Let's break it down into 3 layers of damage. First, the internal cost. When you constantly apologize, your brain begins to link your identity with guilt. You start feeling guilty for things that don't even require guilt, asking for help, needing space, expressing an opinion, even making a completely human mistake like forgetting to call back. Your self-talk becomes drenched in apology, and without realizing it, you begin living in a permanent state of, I'm not enough. Over time, this builds anxiety, self-doubt, and a chronic need for approval. You stop trusting your own worth. Second, the social cost. Think about how people respond to you when you apologize excessively. The more you say, sorry, the more others see you as less confident, less capable, and less in control. This doesn't mean they consciously dislike you. In fact, some might even think you're sweet or kind. But subconsciously, they start believing you don't deserve as much space, as much respect, or as much authority as someone who speaks without apology. In workplaces, this can mean being passed up for leadership roles. In relationships, it can mean being taken for granted. In friendships, it can mean your needs are constantly overlooked. You have unintentionally trained people to expect less from you because you present yourself as less. Third, the opportunity cost. Every sorry is a hesitation. Every sorry slows you down. And hesitation has a price. Opportunities are grabbed by people who step into them quickly, boldly, without apologizing for wanting more. Imagine you're networking and you get the chance to pitch yourself. If you begin with, "Sorry, I don't want to take too much of your time," you have already lowered the energy. You have already made yourself smaller in a moment where you needed to be bigger. That one tiny word could be the difference between someone remembering you or forgetting you. Multiply that across a lifetime, and you see how devastating the cost can be. Now, let's add in the science. Studies in psychology show that frequent apologizers are perceived as less competent and less trustworthy, not because they are bad people, but because they appear insecure. Our brains are wired to pick up on signals of confidence and dominance. When someone says sorry unnecessarily, it lights up the brain of the listener with cues of weakness. And humans, being social creatures, subconsciously organize themselves around those signals. So the more you apologize, the lower you rank yourself in the invisible hierarchy of every interaction. And here is the most heartbreaking part: this isn't just about language. It's about your story. Every unnecessary apology you speak reinforces the narrative that you are smaller than others. It tells your subconscious that you need permission to exist fully. It whispers to you that you don't deserve to occupy space without asking for it first. And after years of repeating this script, you start to live it. You don't just say sorry, you become sorry. Think about it. How many dreams have you already killed with an apology before they could even be born? How many moments of courage have you cancelled out by softening your voice with a sorry? How many times have you erased yourself before the world even had a chance to see you? That's the hidden cost. It doesn't just take away your confidence in the moment, it rewrites the story of your entire life. And yet, here is the twist. Most people never stop to examine this habit. They carry on, day after day, whispering away their strength with unnecessary apologies, never realizing how much it's costing them. That's why recognizing this truth is powerful. Because awareness is the first step to change. So the question becomes, if sorry is silently killing your confidence, what can you replace it with? How can you break free from the chains of guilt and still remain kind, respectful, and human? The answer isn't about arrogance. It's not about being rude. It's about making one small but powerful shift that will change the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you. And that's exactly what we're going to explore next. This is the turning point. Up until now, we've looked at how over-apologizing slowly chips away at your confidence, how it damages your relationships, and how it rewires your brain to see yourself as smaller than you are. But here is the good news: this cycle isn't permanent. You don't have to keep living in apology mode. There is a simple, practical, and powerful shift you can start using today, one that will flip the script completely. And it's not about becoming rude, arrogant, or insensitive. It's about trading guilt for gratitude and weakness for strength. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine you show up late to meet a friend. The default reaction? Sorry, I'm late. That's what you have said 100 times before. But what if, instead, you looked them in the eye and said, "Thank you for waiting"? Do you feel the difference? The first sentence puts you in guilt mode. The second sentence keeps you in gratitude mode. One makes you smaller. The other makes you strong while still respecting the other person's time. That one substitution completely changes the energy of the moment. This is the core of the shift, replacing sorry with a statement of gratitude, strength, or clarity. It doesn't erase kindness, it multiplies it. It doesn't kill humility, it redefines it. And the best part? Anyone can do it. Let's explore a few real-life scenarios. At work, instead of saying, "Sorry to bother you," try saying, "I appreciate your time on this." You're not apologizing for existing, you're acknowledging someone's effort. It lands better, It feels stronger, and it earns you respect. When you send an email that's a bit late, instead of typing, "Sorry for the delay," say, "Thank you for your patience." Again, gratitude reframes the situation. The other person walks away not with the sense that you have failed them, but with the sense that you value them. In relationships, instead of, "Sorry, I'm always so emotional," you could say, "Thank you for being here while I process this." That small shift transforms a moment of shame into a moment of intimacy. Instead of hiding your feelings behind guilt, you are owning them with gratitude for the person who supports you. Even in casual interactions, like when someone bumps into you in a store, you can shift from "sorry" to "excuse me" or even a simple smile and nod. You're not guilty for being in the world. You're just sharing space. Now let's dig deeper. Why does this work so well? It's because language isn't just communication, it's identity. The words you use don't just describe your reality, they create it. When you repeatedly tell yourself you're sorry, you reinforce the identity of someone who is always at fault. But when you shift to gratitude, you reinforce the identity of someone who values connection, respect, and mutual presence. That's an entirely different self-image. Let me tell you a quick story. A young man named Daniel was in the habit of apologizing for everything at his workplace. Every request, every delay, every interruption started with "sorry." His manager once pulled him aside and said, "Do you realize you have apologized 3 times in a 5-minute conversation? You're making yourself sound guilty for just doing your job." That hit him hard. Daniel decided to try replacing "sorry" with "thank you." The next week, instead of "Sorry, this took longer than expected," he said, "Thank you for your patience while I made sure this was correct." His coworkers immediately responded differently. Instead of brushing him off, they smiled, nodded, and respected the fact that he cared about quality. That shift didn't just change their perception of him, it changed his own perception of himself. He started walking taller, speaking with more clarity, and over time, he actually became more confident. Here is what's powerful: the shift doesn't just improve how people see you, it improves how you feel in your own skin. Gratitude builds confidence because it's outward facing. It moves the focus from your insecurity to your appreciation. It reminds your brain that you are not a burden, you are part of a relationship, team, a moment. And the more you practice it, the more natural it becomes. But let's be real for a second. Breaking the apology habit isn't easy. You've probably been saying "sorry" unnecessarily for decades. It's automatic, it's unconscious, and sometimes it slips out before you even notice. That's okay. The goal isn't to eliminate every single "sorry." The goal is to catch yourself more often and practice the shift. The more you do it, the more you rewire your brain. Think of it like building a muscle. The first time you catch yourself and switch "sorry" to "thank you," it might feel awkward. The 10th time, it feels smoother. The 100th time, it becomes second nature. So how do you start building this new muscle? Step 1. Awareness. The next time you're about to say "sorry," pause. Ask yourself, am I apologizing for an actual mistake, or am I apologizing for existing? If it's the latter, reframe. Step 2. Substitution. Have a few ready-made phrases in your back pocket. "Sorry I'm late, thank you for waiting." "Sorry to bother you, I appreciate your time." "Sorry for asking again, thanks for helping me clarify this." Step 3. Reflection. At the end of the day, think back. How many apologies did you make? How many could have been shifted? Celebrate the ones you caught. Don't punish yourself for the ones you missed. Progress, not perfection. And here is something even bigger. When you live this way consistently, You begin to own your presence unapologetically. You start walking into rooms without guilt. You start speaking with authority. You start to trust that you belong wherever you are. And other people, without even realizing it, start to treat you differently. They lean in when you speak. They remember what you say. They give you the respect you have always deserved. This is why I call it a superpower. Because it's not just about swapping words. It's about transforming your energy. You move from a posture of weakness to a posture of strength. From self-erasure to self-expression. From guilt to gratitude. So yes, this is simple. But don't underestimate it. The smallest shifts often create the biggest ripples. When you stop apologizing for existing and start thanking others while owning your space, you change not only how the world sees you, you change how you see yourself. And that's where the real transformation begins. Because once you start living this way, unapologetically and with strength, you'll notice something powerful. You're no longer begging for permission to take up space. You're claiming it. And that's the foundation for a life of confidence, leadership, and deep connection. But here is the next step. It's one thing to practice this in little moments, emails, conversations, text messages. It's another thing entirely to make it your way of life. To live unapologetically, not just in words, but in identity. And that's exactly where we're going next. This is where everything we have talked about comes together. You've seen the trap of over-apologizing. You've learned how that tiny word, sorry, eats away at your confidence and quietly steals opportunities from your life. You have also discovered the shift, replacing apology with gratitude and strength. But now, the challenge is bigger. How do you take this from a habit in specific moments and make it part of who you are? How do you begin living every single day unapologetically? Let's start here. Living unapologetically doesn't mean you never say sorry again. It doesn't mean ignoring mistakes or refusing to take responsibility. In fact, true strength is about owning your errors with honesty when they actually happen. But living unapologetically means you stop being guilty for existing. You stop apologizing for taking up space, for having needs, for having feelings, for speaking up. It's about walking into every room knowing, I belong here. Think about what happens when you make this mindset your default. Suddenly, conversations feel different. You no longer lead with guilt. You speak with clarity and presence. When you share your opinion, you do it without shrinking your voice. When you ask for help, you don't frame it as a burden, you frame it as collaboration. And people notice. They start responding to you with more respect, more attentiveness, and more seriousness. Why? Because you have taught them how to treat you. Here is a powerful metaphor. Imagine your life as a stage. For years, you've been standing in the corner, whispering your lines, apologizing every time your voice echoes too loud. But living unapologetically is like stepping into the center of that stage, planting your feet firmly, and saying your lines with conviction. Not shouting. Not demanding. Just owning the fact that the stage was always yours too. And the beauty of this mindset is that it spreads. When you stop apologizing for existing, you give permission to the people around you to do the same. Your kids, your friends, your coworkers, they start noticing the way you carry yourself, the way you own your space. Without even realizing it, you become a mirror of confidence for them. Your shift becomes their inspiration. Now, let's talk about what it feels like on the inside. Living unapologetically builds a sense of inner freedom you may never have experienced before. You no longer walk into a room scanning for approval. You no longer replay every conversation in your head, wondering if you said too much. You no longer shrink to keep others comfortable. Instead, You wake up with the quiet confidence that you are enough, exactly as you are. That feeling is priceless. So how do you begin this journey right now? Start small. Pick one place in your life where you usually apologize without reason. Maybe it's emails at work. Maybe it's conversations with your partner. Maybe it's social settings where you feel nervous. And in that one place, make the shift. Replace just one, sorry, today with gratitude or clarity. Watch how it feels. Notice the difference in your body, in your confidence, in the way people respond. That small win is the seed. Water it daily, and soon it grows into a lifestyle. Because here is the truth, you don't need to apologize for being yourself. You don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. You don't need to erase your voice to keep the peace. The world doesn't need another muted version of you. The world needs your strength, your clarity, your unapologetic presence. So let this be your reminder. You are not here to live in the shadow of sorry. You are here to stand fully in your space, to speak with conviction, to live with gratitude instead of guilt. Stop apologizing for being you. Start living like you belong, because you always have. And as you step into this new way of living, remember this final truth: the people who matter don't need your apologies for existing. They need your strength, your light, your voice. So own your space. Own your worth. Own your life. And do it without guilt. Do it unapologetically.